Can Meerkat solve this mystery? Welcome to Kim Tells Tales, where every story has a lesson. So come closer, little one. Let me tell you a story. One blazing hot afternoon, Elephant was walking slowly across the animal village. The sun shone brightly overhead, and not a single cloud could be seen in the sky. Elephant hummed happily as he strolled along. Suddenly, he stopped. He looked to his left, then to his right. He twirled on the spot and looked behind him. But nothing. It was gone. What on earth had happened to it? His eyes grew wide. Oh no, he gasped. He spun around in circles again. My shadow! It's gone! Elephant looked everywhere. He searched behind a bush. He checked behind a termite mound. He even peeked behind a tiny flower. But his shadow was nowhere to be found. My shadow has run away, he cried. His loud voice echoed across the land. Within minutes, animals came rushing from every direction. Monkey swung down lower on a tree. What happened? He asked. My shadow is missing, Elephant wailed. Monkey nearly fell out of the tree. Missing? Zebra gasped. Buffalo gasped. Lion yawned lazily. That's highly unlikely. Have you checked your snout? Maybe you snorted it up your nose. Monkey immediately slid down Elephant's trunk and peeked inside. Nope, not here, he announced. Maybe it really did run away. A runaway shadow, said Lion. I've never heard of such a thing. We have to find it, shouted Monkey. The entire village burst into action. Monkey climbed to the top of the tallest tree. I'll keep watch from above, he announced. Warthog lowered his snout to the ground. I'll track the scent. Buffalo puffed out his chest. I'll question the witnesses. Without wasting another second, Buffalo marched up to a large rock. Did you see Elephant's shadow? The rock said nothing. Obviously. Aha, said Buffalo. Very suspicious. Meanwhile, Zebra searched behind every tree. Lion organized a special shadow rescue team. Birds flew in circles overhead. The search grew bigger and sillier by the minute. Soon, rumors began spreading. I heard the shadow went north, said Hyena. No, it went south, said Antelope. A parrot squawked loudly. I saw a vulture carrying it in its mouth. Another bird flapped her wings. I think it disguised itself as a cloud. The animals argued so much that nobody noticed they were making less and less sense. As the search continued, the sun climbed higher and higher into the sky. The animals became hot, dusty, and exhausted. Monkey had searched every tree. Warthog had sniffed every path. Buffalo had questioned 17 rocks, 3 logs, and a sleeping tortoise. Still, there was no sign of the missing shadow. Elephant sat down sadly. Tears filled his eyes. I'll never see my shadow again, he sniffled. The animals gathered around him. Everyone looked defeated. Everyone except one. Tiny Meerkat stood quietly nearby. He had watched the entire search without saying a word. Finally, Meerkat stepped forward. Elephant, he said gently. Yes, sniffed Elephant. Have you looked under your feet? The animals stared. Elephant blinked. Monkey blinked. Even Lion blinked. Slowly, everyone looked down. There, directly beneath Elephant, was a tiny dark shape. His shadow. Because the sun was almost directly overhead, the shadow had become so small that Elephant hadn't noticed it. For a moment, the entire village was silent. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then Monkey let out a snort. Then another. Then he burst into laughter. It was under your feet the whole time. Warthog rolled across the ground laughing. Zebra laughed so hard he hiccuped. Buffalo laughed so hard he choked on his own breath. Even Lion couldn't stop chuckling. Soon every animal in the village was laughing. Even Elephant began laughing at himself. I guess I should have checked a little more carefully, he admitted. Meerkat smiled. Sometimes the answer is closer than we think. And from that day on, the animals learned not to panic before checking the facts. Sometimes the answer is right in front of you or even under your feet. So whenever an animal panicked without checking properly, someone would always ask, "Did you check under your feet like elephant?" And every time they heard it, the entire village would burst into laughter all over again. The end. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the story with others.